You get come at me for not doing my job.
I'm gonna stop streaming real quick and come right back.
And you start trying to do my job, and you're so busy trying to do my job. You
hold on. Okay, now I know. Editor's note for me later. Cut right here, because I didn't stop the recording. I only stopped the streaming and all that. But now we're connected to both. It's got an actual title. Shoot. Heck, darn.
Love it.
Yeah. I'm losing my mind over here, y'all. I've lost everything.
You're doing great, Blake. And we're all really proud of you. Everybody tell Blake how proud of him yet you are. So
no, I need to admit the stupidity of yesterday. Because Emily worked very hard on this nice little doc we have. And my brain usually has on lock, oh, this is what we're doing next week. I forgot about the doc and forgot about what we were doing this week. So instead of looking at the doc, because I forgot it was there, I text Emily like, what's the plan for tomorrow? And she thought I was high. She's like, I did this doc.
What plan do you want from me? And he was like, I don't have a plan. And I was like, what plan do you want me to have? And he's like, that's the problem. Neither of us have a plan. And I was like, he didn't even mention podcasts. And I was like, are you talking about podcasts tomorrow? Because there's a document that has all of our topics and reviews and everything that we have listed in it. You fool.
Look, my brain has only been work stuff. I barely play. Well, no, that's not true. I've played a lot of Pokopia lately. I'm about to put Pokopia down for now. I need to go back to the backlog. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just if I keep playing, I will never stop. The backlog will not get done. It will never get done.
I was telling Blake this, but I will be picking up Baldur's Gate 3 again starting next week. I'm going to have a lot of downtime to me, myself, and I starting at that point. So
I'm going to...
Baldur's Gate. And also my backlog of books.
I also forgot. You're going to be... you are doing book club not at your normal place for book club as well.
Yeah, that's true. Also, speaking of books and book club, this isn't strictly related to my backlog because it was on my backlog last year, not this year. But Blake's currently reading it. I saw Project Hail Mary over the weekend, and I think everyone should go see that movie because it was fantastic. And if you're a reader, I think you should read the book because the book is also fantastic. It was so wholesome, so funny. It made me really happy. It made me very joyous. So if you're looking for a movie to go see Project Hail Mary.
This is, if you don't want spoilers for the book, skip a couple of minutes past this. But to let you know where I'm at, Emily, they just figured out how to communicate and did the whole computer thing for language.
Oh, that's so fun.
So that's where I'm at. Note, I started this last July. It's March the next year. It's not that this is a bad book. It's that I struggle reading.
You should give yourself a little credit because I do love Project Hail Mary, but I also think it can be a bit of a slow read, and it took me a long time to get through it. I started that book like 5 different times and got to like 50 pages and stopped reading because it just felt pretty slow to me. And even then, it still took me a while to get through.
The ADHD kicks in. Why do you think it took me 4 times to start?
I think you should try some also, I mean, Project Hail Mary is a great book, but I think you should try some shorter, lighter, breezier books too.
Oh, no, because if I don't read this book next, the 9 people now who have told me to read it are going to kill me. And you know what that is without me telling. Yep, it's that one.
I kind of want to read it myself because for a really long time I heard people saying how amazing it was, and now recently I've heard some people come out and talk about how every woman in that book series is represented as a monster or a sex object, and I'm like, how reliable is that? So I'm kind of curious about it now.
Yeah, because I don't think Cass would love it and try to push me to read it if that was the case.
No, I agree, which is what confused me. So, that's been obviously very much the minority. So now I'm kind of curious because I want to be like, is this really good? Are these people on the internet crazy? Or is I don't know. I'm curious about it, I guess.
Newsflash, people on the internet got mad about something that isn't real. What a shock.
What a shock. People on the internet blew something out of proportion. Oh, no.
Oh, wow. I am so... Oh.
Book people love to do that, though. I there is a book drama going on, and it is very valid right now, but we're not going to talk about that.
I didn't realize there could be book drama. What?
Oh my gosh, Blake. There's so much book drama all the time.
I know the banned book thing. Like, that's as far as the drama I know.
Banned books. I mean, there's so much book drama. So many, like, authors become really popular, and then a lot of people rebel against how popular the author is, or say, like, this author's toxic because this is how she represents relationships, and that's toxic. Or this author's toxic. There was a thing about someone saying this author was misrepresenting their culture because their last name was Spanish, but they weren't Spanish. Their last name was just Spanish because they married a Spanish man. And everyone was like, she's pretending to be a cultured. Like, there's so much book drama all the time. The bookish people love their drama.
I hate that.
Some of it is obviously really stupid. Some of it is pretty legit. Right now, there's one going on about a book that's been labeled young adult, which is like for 12 to 18-year-olds. That is very much. Sorry.
Emily just dabbed. She didn't sneeze. She just wanted to dab.
I was actually teaching my nephew how to do that the other day, and he thought it was so funny. He had no idea what it was, but he thought it was hysterical. Couldn't figure out how to do it. Anyway, if you want some drama, head over to Book Talk or the Book Threads or whatever. But
yeah, I don't do reels. Huh?
We got a lot of news today. We got a lot of news this week.
Well, I mean,
There's
okay.
a very, very big thing that happened today that Blake and I had no idea was going on.
We'll get to that in a moment. Quick, for the backlog update, because it's going to be quick. I did get a little bit further in Like a Dragon not Infinite Wealth, the first Like a Dragon, which is technically Yakuza 7, besides the point. I think I'm going to love it because it doesn't take itself seriously, and it's supposed to make... It seems like it's a game about the Yakuza, but it's also making fun of soap operas, and it's very charming with how, like, over-the-top and goofy it is with the tropes it's doing, and I'm like, okay.
I do like that.
I like a game that is like actively making fun of itself while telling a story that's still somewhat compelling, and I'm like, okay, I'm into this. This is kind of cool. That's backlog update. Other thing, and I noticed this when I was just checking to make sure Twitch is working and everything. Finn is playing Visage right now, and Emily loves Visage or Visage or whatever.
Visage.
So I just saw that.
Oh, Finn playing it, Finn.
Yeah.
I was watching that if I could.
I just happened to look over and I'm like,
right now.
Huh?
He's popping off right now.
He's partner now. He got partner.
I had no idea. Congrats, Finn.
That was very... Shout out my boy Ilfinity if you watching this, and I'll make a clip for this later. But Ilfinity, my boy, congrats on getting partner.
But you deserve it.
We have an episode. I have an episode with Ilfinity last year where we talked about Expedition 33 because somebody didn't finish it in time.
Yeah. Maybe Expedition 33 should have thought about that. They did what they did.
All right, let's jump into
I'm not the only person I've met who was really struggled to get back into the game after that moment. I feel vindicated.
I took a day before I got back into it. Cass took Cass just ended stream and then went back to it the next weekend because she finished it recently. And then my friend Julie, I think, also took a day. But yeah, we all took a day after that one.
I needed more than a day.
I know. Trust me, I know. We're going to jump now into the news. First thing, we already talked about it last week, but just Emily, so you know, I did end up going to I pre-ordered Starfield for PS5. I'm gonna do it again.
Embarrassing.
Because I didn't. Here's the thing. It's a mid game. It's very mid, but I'm willing to give Bethesda another chance with whatever updates they're adding to it.
Let me ask you this. This is gonna determine how embarrassing this is for you.
Okay.
How much money did you spend to pre-order a game that you already beat and called mid?
Oh, I traded in quite a bit, if that helps.
Okay, but how much was the value of the game?
Oh, like $50. But and then you can get the deluxe edition with all the DLC for $20 more, so $70 for all DLC. So I did deluxe.
Okay.
But I traded in some stuff, and I had $10 left over in a gift card. In total, cash out of my pocket, $25.
lucky. That's some girl math there because you also could have used that trade-in value for other stuff.
But everything else I'm getting this year is paid off except for Beast of Reincarnation, which still the physical. Every time I go, I'm like, I want to pre-order this. They're like, it's still not in our system for pre-order. I'm like, they said it's going to get a physical, and they're like, we can't do anything about that. I'm like, I know you can't, but why? It comes out in August. Why can't I pre-order it yet?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I just can't believe you spent $70 on Starfield.
I've got to do it. And to be fair, the when I did play Starfield, I only paid I paid $1 for Game Pass for that month just to rush through it. So
now you paid $71.
No, cash out of my pocket. Remember the cash out of my pocket.
I'm not doing that nonsense. You spent $71 on this game that you call mid. That you've already beaten.
Oh, I want to, because look, after these news reports have been coming out saying, hey, these updates are good, they're real good. Oh, you can fly the ship for real now. I'm like, all right, I'll try again. All right, Bethesda. Okay. I can't stay mad at you, Bethesda. I can't stay mad at you. I actually stayed mad at them for a long time.
Todd Howard got him, guys. Todd Howard has him in his claws.
First update, and I don't like the title because it's not a great title for what's really happening. But you remember a couple of years back when the iPhone was forced to switch to USB-C from their old Lightning charging port, and that was due to UK laws changing, essentially saying, like, hey, we need uniformity, blah blah blah, and that forced Apple to change. They're doing something similar for consoles and things like the Switch, where essentially new Switch 2s that are going into Europe. Specifically the UK, they are the EU. They have to start making batteries removable. So if I were to take apart my Switch 2, that battery cannot be glued in, and I can just be able to easily take it out and swap in a new one, right? So this says the best version of the Nintendo Switch 2 may be a European exclusive. It's not going to be European exclusive. That would be way too expensive to develop two versions of the Switch. If they are forced to make these changes, then the US will also get that version. They're just gonna be like, okay, all Switch 2s now have a replaceable battery. It's just like why Apple did not got rid of Lightning port. Like, it's too expensive to have create two different the same iPhone with two different ports, depending on where we sit. Are you
sure? I don't know. I still think about how there's a difference in the Nintendo 64s, but I guess a lot has changed since then.
What are you specifically for what?
So the game cartridges for the Japanese N64 and the American N64 are not the same.
Oh yes, it's the back. Yeah.
Yes.
That was
what I purchased in N64 in Japan.
Yeah, that was the cheap way to region lock back when region locking was still a thing. All you have to do though, is take unscrew it and switch backs. I've done it before. Not with something that I own, but I've done it physically before, and it's like, look, that's way cheaper. Molding plastic is way cheaper than tech parts. I'll tell you that.
That's fair.
Yeah, like by a long shot. But yeah, that's something that's happening, and I'm always for right to repair. So anything that like boosts right to repair things, I'm in for. I think this is, especially with my Switch One, my Switch One battery, we're 8 years in, is cooked now. My Switch One's battery cannot hold a charge for longer than an hour. It's having a time. So I eventually need to get that replaced, but I am too afraid to do it myself because when you glue in the lithium-ion battery and you try to poke it, that can cause a fire, and I don't want to do that. So,
not to draw attention away from this, but I see this title that says the Switch 2's Eras of Dominance is finally here, and I just can't imagine how that could be when there's no new Animal Crossing or Zelda. So, Polygon, incorrect.
There is a new Animal Crossing.
Mm-hmm.
There is a new Animal Crossing.
I'm not playing Pokopia.
I mean, you will eventually.
I'll try it eventually.
Whoa.
Ferg, thank you for the raid.
Oh, Ferg!
Right?
Oh, it's not showing on my end because I'm doing the restring thing. Ferg, my boy, my beautiful shark.
The party is free. So thank you, Ferg, and thank you, New Pets, for in here.
I have to make up Monster Hunter with Ferg this Sunday because I missed a week because of how dare my siblings decide to be born on a day they knew I was going to stream on in the future, huh?
Get back into it, come on, man.
Wow, rude. Okay, cool. So that's it for that. The next one is going to no, we'll come back to this one. It's too big to leave second. This next one is for something upcoming, and this is for Tamagotchi Life, and they're not going to censor it. They are not going to censor it, and the clips have been rolling in with the demo and what people have been saying, and it's hysterical.
I would hate for them to censor it because I don't know. Wait. Oh, Juice, thank you so much for the raid.
Oh, Juice also raided. I'm like, what was that sound? Juice, thank you for the raid. It's a double raid all the way across the. Oh, it's Subnautica night. It's Subnautica night for them.
Subnautica. Tell us about it. I just want to say, I don't know if any of you ever watched the memes or the YouTube videos that came out of the Tamagotchi Life for the 3DS, where they had the concert hall and your Mii could sing whatever song you came up with. It was incredible and incredibly inappropriate, which is why I speculated when they first announced this game that they didn't bring the concert hall back, because of just how much profanity ended up being in it. So this actually does surprise me a little, but I'm glad they made this decision because I can't wait to see the memes that will come out of this.
We're already getting, like, I sent you one last night. I don't know if you saw it yet. You probably saw I sent it to you, but I don't know if you watched it.
Yeah. No, sometimes you send me things after I'm in bed, and then the tragedy of that is then I wake up and I'm like, oh, Blake sent me something. I'll check this after I finish geting ready for the morning, and then I just forget about it.
Yeah, that tracks.
So time of day to send me something, it goes into a void.
We did Power Wash for chill vibes this time. Needed a break. Okay. Context for you, Emily. Ferg, I know he's a shark. I know he is a shark boy. However, Ferg is afraid of open bodies of water. And so Subnautica is a little frightening for him. And so sometimes,
Correct.
Good. We need the little bit.
I classify myself as someone who's afraid of large bodies of water. Not in the sense of like, if I went to the ocean, I would be comfortable swimming in the ocean. If you try to get me on a ship to go out into the middle of the ocean, I would no longer be comfortable. So I think that's very fair. And also Power Wash Simulator, super satisfying and very fun. So I support that.
Em, I think you are getting Tamagotchi Life next week.
Yes, I plan on playing Tamagotchi Life because this looks more up my alley. No offense to Pokopia than Pokopia. Pokopia seems to have a lot more collecting items and building than I really want to do. It seems a little bit more Minecraft than I'm into.
You spend hours building pathways in Animal Crossing and Dreamlight Valley.
Nope, we have to rediscuss this. I've drawn this line for you before, and we have to draw it again. Building is not the same as decorating. If I can go to Scrooge McDuck and say, here's 1,000 coins, please give me all the paths I want, and then just hit a button to lay them down in a specific order. If I have to go to a tree and cut down a tree, and then I have to go get some pieces of rock and some clay, and then I have to go to a table, and then I have to craft it. I don't want to craft items. I don't want to hoard resources to craft items, to build streets and build houses. I don't want to take little squares and set little squares on top of other little squares. I don't enjoy a building mechanic. I didn't enjoy it in Tears of the Kingdom. I don't enjoy it in Minecraft. I never will. I want to go to the Tom Nook of this establishment and say, please take my money and build me a cutesy house.
You hear to hear first, folks. Emily is pro-capitalism, and that's the end of that.
I don't want to work for it.
Actually, that's anti-capitalism at that point. I don't know.
It also doesn't appeal to me as much as like the aesthetic of like the Tamagotchi house. Like look at that little house. Look at it, the little cute little pink house with the mailbox.
I just love the fact that this has been on the screen of gay men having sex is just here.
It does not faze me.
It's great.
Anyway, next piece of news, we're getting behind.
We're not getting behind. We're fine. Mouse PI. Mouse PI for Hire, which I've been waiting for what, like 6 years at this point, which is that like Disney type art style from way back in the day. Is finally getting a release date in a physical. Yeah, exactly. And it's going to be out, I guess physical copies will be out July 10th. It looks very interesting. I have been interested in this since it was announced. I'm going to...
a little.
What?
It's also giving the art style of Cuphead.
Yeah, I mean it's not the same people, but it's I think it's like that very aesthetic. It's that hand drawn. Every frame is hand drawn art style.
Rubber house style is what you said. Rubber hose style.
I've never heard of
Yes.
that before. I didn't know it was called that, but I like that name. I think that's a good name.
It's a good
So
aesthetic.
I'm in.
Um,
Uh,
go ahead.
yeah, I'm stoked for this. I'm just ready for this to come out. I'm ready to play this. It looks neat.
Quick piece of news that I want to bring up before you go to your next piece of news. Mine's super fast. It'll take 2 seconds. I just thought about it when we were talking about Switch and Switch 2 and whatnot, and we were talking about Dreamlight Valley. If you are a Switch player and you're interested in playing Dreamlight Valley, the Switch 2 edition of Dreamlight Valley launched today or yesterday. One of the two. It is a significant upgrade because playing on the Switch before was very rough for Dreamlight Valley people. The graphics were pretty terrible. The load times were rough. I know it had a lot of crashes because the Switch Dreamlight Valley just became a massive game the more characters that they added and the more content they added, and the Switch obviously just could not handle that over a period of time. The upgrade was free, so if you owned the original version, you can get the Switch 2 version for free. If you didn't own it, I don't think you pay anymore for the Switch 2 version. So if you're interested in Dreamlight Valley at all, or you put it down because you had it on Switch and it just wasn't running for you, maybe give it another go because it came out with a free update, and I've seen a lot of Switch users saying it's working a lot better for them now.
Well, there we go. Moving on. I need to close. All right, now we're gonna quickly talk about the Xbox Partner Showcase that
my goodness.
I called Emily 2 hours ago and said, "Hey, did you know there was this partner showcase this morning?" And she's like, "I'm sorry. When? When was this announced?" Neither of us knew.
Neither of us knew. And then we spent about 30 seconds looking through the list of everything that was announced. And I was like, well, I didn't need to know about it anyway, because I don't think there was anything interesting in it. So
No.
Blake, I'm giving you 2 minutes to talk about this because I don't think there's anything fun in here.
Hunter the Reckoning. Don't know anything about it. Wuthering Waves. This already exists on other consoles. Does not matter.
Why is she dressed like that?
It's
Why
anime.
It's a JRPG?
It's not. It's a gacha game.
Sorry, dang, it's anime.
Yeah. The Expanse of Cyrus Reborn. Again, don't know anything about this.
A Wild Tintin, you're correct. I think we all forgot Xbox existed or that they could do showcases.
Look, Xbox does one thing and one thing well, and that is controllers for my PC. So, that's it.
I am interested in this Blumhouse one, though.
Yes, this one looks interesting. Blumhouse is a like cozy, spooky. I don't want to say horror, but it's like spooky inspired type game.
Doesn't Blumhouse also make movies? Didn't it make the Five Nights at Freddy's movies?
Well, this is Blumhouse Games, so Blumhouse, yeah, they do have films.
The whole thing that they made a new gaming company, but that they were originally like a film studio.
Yeah, they do films. I think it's Blumhouse. We keep saying Blumhouse. I think it's Blumhouse.
Well, then they should have spelled it Bloom. I can't help what they did.
Lee Cronin's The Mummy, Obsession.
I think they did Five Nights at Freddy's.
They did. There it is. FNAF.
Yeah. So I think this was a big thing maybe a year or two ago. I can't remember time. But that they were this a pretty popular like little niche horror studio who was making horror movies, and then they came out I think at the Game Awards or something similar and announced that they were going to start a gaming studio, and that I don't know if they're creating themselves or if they're working with smaller devs to help publish their games, if I remember correctly. So I think they're coming out with a series of different games, and I think they're all different styles.
I'm fine with it. I like a little. I don't know if we can call them an indie company because they have all that money from films. However, I like the art style. I like the vision.
It does say right there, publisher Blumhouse Games, developer Perfect Garbage. So yes, if I remember correctly, Blumhouse is publishing a series of different horror games from different developers.
Okay, that's good then. That's good then. Serious Sam. It looks like another shooter. Sure.
Interesting.
Stranger Than Heaven. Again, know nothing about it. That looks like Japan though. Kind of like older Japan. Super Meat Boy 3D might be interesting for me, but I don't like blazingly hard things, and Super Meat Boy, the regular one, is stupid hard, so I don't know how I feel about this one at all. You know?
I'm not into difficult video games. You all know me. I play games on easy except for Resident Evil, which I will play on insanity mode once I've unlocked infinite ammo and all the bonuses.
Ascend to Zero got a trailer, which I guess is it's a Ben's Time with Action. It's a roguelike. Okay. It's a cute little blocky roguelike, I guess.
Yeah, that's a good point. She's mentioned that the Heaven one is from the people who made the Yakuza games.
Oh, then okay. Then as much as I'm liking Like a Dragon right now, I might like it then because Like a Dragon is great.
I've heard nothing but great things about them.
Dispatch is coming to Xbox. It already exists. Like, okay, cool.
Don't worry, everyone who only owned Xboxes and couldn't play these games elsewhere. Now you can.
Rebellion? Sure. It's an alien game. Meh. Frogs. Okay, this one looks like a multiplayer game. Yeah.
Look, they look cute. They're
Frogs,
like little repo robots, but their eyes are higher up on their heads.
Subscribe Friend Slop. It's a Friend Slop co-op Frog Squad. Hold on. Is this gonna be on PC? Or PlayStation?
Because this just sounds like it's moving to. Oh, Ferg says he tried the frog game and it wasn't good.
Oh no!
Guess it's time to play Peak again.
Oh,
did you see that Peak is in Fortnite now?
Yeah, I saw that. Actually, I did see that. I saw the developer for Peak also was playing with mods. Like, hey, I want to showcase these awesome mods I found. I'm like, good developers.
Oh, the Peak ones are cool. There's actually one who does the social media content, and she talked about how everyone was mocking her player character because she didn't have most of the badges. And so there's this guy who does like peak climbs with people to help them get badges. And she contacted him and he did a bunch of peak climbs with her to help her get badges. So people would stop making fun of her on social media. And it was great.
Remind me to find these Flippy the Phone clips to send to you.
Okay.
Because
I don't know what that means, but I'll remind you.
It was this game this dude was playing independently, like by himself. And there was a narrator in the voice. The developer, who's also the narrator for the game, I guess got himself in this guy's game and was talking to him, and he's just like, who are you? Why are you in my game? Well, Flippy, I'm the narrator. He was like actually the developer though, just fucking with him the whole time. It was very funny to watch.
Yeah. Ferg, we'll strike that off the list.
Bluey is coming back. I have the first Bluey game for PS5 to play with my niece at some point, and I'll be doing the same with this one, probably for her.
Bluey's so wholesome. Good for Bluey.
Stalker 2. If you like the first Stalker, you get another one. Oh, this is for DLC. Okay. It's for DLC for Stalker 2. Okay. Musa is a series I know people got excited for. I don't know anything about it, so.
The name Musa Dirty Fate is pretty bad, though.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Like, Musa already sounds dirty, and then you add dirty into it's just not good.
I'm just trying to quickly go through the rest of these. That doesn't matter. Hades 2 is coming to Xbox. Oh, hey, crazy. It's already been on Switch, PlayStation, and PC. So.
Wild Simpson says, there's one game I'm looking forward to, Kyoryu. Okay. Wait. And it's essentially to be a dinosaur version of Stray. That sounds so fun.
I love Stray. I adored Stray. Okay, I'm in on this. When is it? Where is this coming? It's only going to be on Steam, but that's fine. I'm going to save this for later. Let me quickly add this to my wish list. Thank you.
Good.
It was so cute.
Right.
And then the last one, the big announcement was Artificial Detective. You are a robot cop, and you're fighting other robot cops and other robots that are trying to kill humans.
I already played as a robot cop once, and it was called Detroit Become Human. I'm good.
You played
robot cop propaganda one time, and
you didn't play as a robot. You played as an android. Hold on. The android, Connor, the android from Cyberlife.
You your glasses up your nose, bud.
That's it for the Xbox showcase. Okay, cool, whatever. Give me, I think it's time for Nintendo Direct, an actual Nintendo Direct.
It's time for a Nintendo Direct too. Hey Nintendo, do you know it's both Mario and Legend of Zelda's 40th anniversary? I'm just telling you this because it seemed like you maybe didn't know, considering you haven't mentioned it or done anything for it other than the Mario movie. I would love a new Zelda game. I would love a 3D Mario game. I would even take some remakes, some ports, if you want to toss the Wind Waker HD port, a Twilight Princess port. I take some more Mario ports. Just any way that you wanted to acknowledge two of your most popular series. I take it. I did see that they're adding Sonic 2 to this movie as well.
Yeah, you reminded me too. Star Fox is going to be in the Mario Galaxy movie. So.
Okay, a ton of things are. Did you see the whole roster?
No, I didn't.
There's like a video on their Instagram or somewhere where it like cycled through a ton of different characters. Sonic was one of them as well.
Oh, is he? Dude, you know what this means? We are gonna get a Smash Brothers movie.
I'd be open to it. I don't know what the plot is unless they bring in the big hand again.
They have to bring in Master Hand. Like,
but
hold on.
I some games is the thing. I'm not against movies, but I don't think it's too much to ask that the video game people make the video games.
Oh, no, they don't want to anymore. They don't want money. Well, they want money, but not in the way that we want to give them money.
I want to pay them money to play the video games. And I would like some Animal Crossing, some Zelda, some Mario. I would just like some of it. So maybe they could hand that to me. And I don't think I'm asking for much. Like I said, I'm even willing to accept the games they've already made. I'm willing to buy games I've already bought.
Yeah,
if they
like
handed me Wind Waker
Wind
HD,
Waker.
I'd pay full price for it, guys. Nintendo, I would buy a Switch too. That's my offer. Like, I would not only pay you for the software, I would buy your hardware.
Nintendo, look, you're missing out on one out of your already 30 million sales.
Nintendo, I need you. Hold on, please. I have to grab something. One moment, everyone. This is really important, I promise.
And then I gotta get through the rest of the stories. The two more we have left.
Nintendo, listen.
I forgot about it.
I paid money for this, Nintendo. I paid real money. Do you see how big he is? I went to your establishment and I paid money for him, I paid adult money for this Yoshi. I did not pay child money.
She paid more than I paid for Starfield.
I paid more than you paid for Starfield for this Yoshi. So when I tell you, I will pay money for the video games. Please give me video games.
Moving on.
He actually is getting a game this year, so maybe he wasn't the right prop for this because he is getting a new game this year.
He is. Now we have to fuss at Xbox again. You weren't here for podcast where we talked about Phil Spencer is no longer the CEO of Xbox. I was talking to you about it.
I actually don't know who that's better for.
No, it's better for him. He was actually like the only reason that company was staying afloat, and I think they essentially wanted him out because this new person who does not give a shit about games at all, because Phil Spencer actually did, I'll say that much. This lady is now in talks of wanting to do cheaper versions of Game Pass where they bundle it like with Netflix and treat it like Netflix. And what do you know about the cheaper version of Netflix subscriptions, Emily? What do they have? Yeah, ads. And you know what? This is going to include ads while you're gaming.
I can't wait to be in the middle of a boss fight and like an ad pops up. That would be so helpful. That would be actually the way I win.
Like,
what a good idea. What a good idea, Xbox.
Here's the thing. Y'all can talk about console wars and PC's better and blah, 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 blah. The only person who's ever said, hey, it's a good idea to put ads in our games is literally Xbox. And this is not the first time we've talked about this.
QuickTime Event gets an ad for better.
From our sponsor, NordVPN.
I respect your blue yarn Yoshi amiibo. You're so right. We love and respect Yoshi in this household. He is the best Mario character. Also, I love your umbrella. What do we call those badges?
Yeah, the same one. I have the umbrella one.
Why don't I have the umbrella one?
I got it from watching you play Resident Evil 9, and after I watched it for a certain amount of time.
Other people play it? I watched C-Jug play it.
You didn't watch it on Twitch. Your audio didn't come through.
He doesn't stream on Twitch. Anyway, let's keep going because we got to talk about our main topic at some point today.
I know. We have one more story, and this is time to point and laugh at the AI slop because Crimson Desert, which has already got very mixed reviews, essentially got caught using AI art.
Disgusting.
And they admitted to it. They didn't try to hide it after they, admitted to it.
Did they admit to it after they got caught?
Yeah, they admitted to it after they got caught. So they still try to hide it. But yeah. It's not great. It's still not great. Because this is the prime example. Look at this horse. Look at him.
Look at that horse. Look at that horse.
Look at this horse.
Look at the man. Look at the man on the ground.
Yeah, look at that man.
Look at that Lord Farquaad ass looking man on the horse.
Well, not even this man is on a horse who is
Edna
also.
Mode. That's Edna Mode from The Incredibles. Look, so happy she got to make it into this painting.
Look, this is a man on a horse, but this is the horse's butt, so he's facing backwards. But this is also on top of the butt of the horse. It's with no legs, so it's part of the horse. It's a backwards fucking minotaur, because this is also a man.
Go to the right and look at the horse that also fades into like the background.
This one right here?
It's the brown horse, yep, with the legs. And then all the people look so bad. The man on the far right has, I think, a rock for a head.
Yeah, right here. That man.
Yeah, it's bad.
Here's another Minotaur man.
And don't use AI art. It's lazy and it steals from real artists.
It's really bad.
Make your own crap, man. Make your own crap. I could have asked my nieces and nephews to draw this. So.
I hate it. I hate the internet. Not the internet. I hate AI. But this is a friendly reminder. Yes, we are all excited for the AI bubble to pop. But unfortunately, when that AI bubble pops, that doesn't mean AI is going away because the internet bubble also popped. That just means investors are no longer going to invest heavily into AI. So AI content will still be around.
There are ways to use AI well. Generative AI is not it.
Generative AI that is localized and not being fed things from other artists. Let me iterate.
Is there such a thing?
Yes, you can make localized AI systems that are not using data centers and water loops.
Well, don't turn it into your girlfriend no matter what you do.
Yeah, that's weird. If you do that, then you deserve to be bullied. You deserve to be made fun of. Is that a bad thing for me to say? No, it's not.
No.
Don't.
Don't do it.
Go out and talk to a girl, you nerd. I'm sorry.
Or boy, whoever you want. Just don't use the robot.
If my stupid dumb ass can get a girl to marry me, you'll be fine. You'll figure it out.
It's true. He did.
Look, she was at one of the wedding parties. You can confirm.
That's the only reason he and I know each other is because he got a girl to talk to him. And that was one of my dear friends.
How my stupid ass managed to do that, I don't know. But if I can do it, you can too.
Yoshi believes in you.
A Wild Tintin, thank you for following.
Thank you for the follow. Let's get into our main topic for tonight. We're talking about Midsized Games. And we're talking about
not
this because
Starfield.
Not Starfield. Not a lot of games, actually. I feel like we've just hit this point where games are either like a 10-hour experience or they're a 110-hour experience or even like a 60 to 70-hour experience, right?
Yeah.
And I know that we often equate that with value because video games have gotten so expensive. If you're paying $70, $80, $90 for a product, you want to get the time. You want to get the time out of it for the money that you put into it. But this topic came to my mind because if you've been keeping up with me, I recently played the Mass Effect trilogy for the first time at the end of last year and beginning of this year. And it was so refreshing to go into a game that was 20 to 30 hours. 35 at the longest end of things. I was doing all of the side quests, and there was no bloat in it. There was no endless areas to explore just to cross them off the map. There was no blank map that I had to fill in by going to every little area. I could focus on the story. I could focus on the quests that actually meant something, the fun side quests. I could focus on talking to my companions. it was just so nice and refreshing, and it didn't feel like I was settling down for this huge commitment, which also puts me off from playing games a lot of the time. And so even though the entire Mass Effect trilogy ended up probably being 100-ish hour experience for me, it was so much more digestible, and it did feel like a longer experience because it was broken up into 3 games. And so I would just like to see that come back. I would like to see mid-sized games, these 20 to 30, 35, 40-hour games, make a reappearance. Even if it means we're breaking games up into 2 or 3 different games.
I think so. Those games still are around. They're not as common, but I think a lot of this, and my big reason for it is not necessarily length, but open world fatigue is the big reason for me, right?
Yeah.
Because a game like Persona 5 is 100 plus hours, but I don't get that open world fatigue because it's not that big of a world, right?
See,
It's not
I haven't
massive.
even started Persona 3 because I know that's going to be 100, 110-hour experience
Right.
for me, and it seems so daunting.
My biggest problem is just the checklists on a map for too big of areas.
Yeah.
What Yote last year, and that wasn't even that big of a map. All things considered, it's not even that big. But even got to a point I'm like, this is getting daunting. This is becoming a lot. I don't want to do this. I started Oblivion and I got 10 hours into Oblivion this year and I'm like, this is too much. There's too much to do. And I think there's a time and place for it. I think occasionally it's fine, but because it became so popular in 2010, 2011, 2012, whatever, it has oversaturated the market, and that oversaturation never really stopped. There are exceptions of recency that people who did it technically correctly, where you can have an open world game, but it still be a mid-sized to small game. The Spider-Man games are the ones that come to mind, right? All 3 Spider-Man games. They're all technically open world. However, they all can be platinumed in 20 to 25 hours. They're not huge, right?
And I have such respect for that. I think another part to this is that they were shorter games, and obviously they weren't going for like the photorealistic graphics that we have to go to now, right? I was just looking that up. Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 all released within 5 years.
Yes.
Within a 5-year period, they released 3 different games for this trilogy. And I just like, it's now 7 years between games. I mean, how long was it between Kingdom Hearts 2 and Kingdom Hearts 3? And now Kingdom Hearts 3 to Kingdom Hearts 4.
Well, okay, but those are mid-sized games. And they're just taking forever for them to come out.
That's what I mean. But then, I mean, like, even the bigger games, you're just expecting, I mean, I pretty much expect a huge turnaround time between any game in a series. It's now been, I mean, Animal Crossing isn't a mid-sized game by any means, but Animal Crossing is now going on 6 years in between games, right? And it used to not be that long. And I get things have changed and the graphic standards have changed. But I would just love to see this kind of come back where we're putting out games in this kind of category that aren't focused on being this photorealistic, huge 200-hour experience, and we can get out these really nice games that are 20 to 30 hours. That, Mass Effect is not a photorealistic game, but it's still fantastic, and it's still a lot of fun to play, even with how wonky the graphics can be at times. I know Andromeda got a lot of crap for how wonky it was at times. Still a fantastic game series.
Like, I don't know. I like to be able to pick up something specifically. Like, I want to knock this out in like a week, right? And being able to knock it out in a week and be like, okay, I got my fill and move on. When I play bigger games, when I played earlier this year, because Emily begged me to play it, and I did have a good time. I'm not gonna lie, I still enjoyed it. Star Wars Outlaws, right? I know, but once again, I want to be able to finish something like that, like in a week and a half. And it took me a month to get through that whole thing. It took me a month because it's massive. There's so much to do, and it feels like a lot. It's like I need to go do all these things. Oh, there's more completely optional. I wouldn't even call them side quests because they're incredibly like optional. They're not like, hey, you get something if you do them optional. They are just incredibly, you get money if you do them side quests. But I feel like I gotta do them still.
I want to also add too that there's something to be said here for price point then, right? You don't have to the size of these games, the graphics quality does not have to be this AAA, you're investing millions upon millions of dollars into it, therefore you have to charge $70 for it, right? If you're putting out something that doesn't have to be photorealistic, that's only 20 to 30 hours, you can afford to charge less for it. I mean, I purchased the entire Mass Effect trilogy in the Legendary Edition for $50 or $60, right? And, that's more up to par, but that was technically 3 games in one. So if you took those out, they probably wouldn't be as bad. So I feel like there needs to be this kind of middle ground with games as a whole. And I know I use size as, a way to kick this conversation off, but something in terms of like price, size, and then also not expecting photorealistic graphics constantly. I feel like we would have this great middle ground where people would be a little more free to make these fun niche games. Without also the pressure for gamers to be like, well, I'm not investing $60 in this, right? I'm not investing $70, $80 into this. And I know that there are indie games. I know indie games exist. But something more along this line, more, I guess, AA games is what I'm saying. Not these AAA titles and not like the single A of indie games, right? This kind of AA that seems to have disappeared.
Well, I don't even think you can call it AA, because remember, you got to talk, when you're talking about the A's, you're talking about budget, right? And we've had AAA games that fit in that mid-size. Once again, Spider-Man is the AAA example here. But if we are talking like A's, I guess, your AA's, your Expedition 33 is technically a AA.
Yeah, but then my question then is, Expedition 33 is another great example. But then my question then is, how much did Spider-Man still cost?
Yeah, it was still 60. And
so that's my point. Is like, if you get something that doesn't have such a large budget and you tune it down a little to like a AA title, right? You can charge less for the product, and so people can feel more comfortable buying more of these mid-sized games, and they don't have the studios also don't have to make these insanely photorealistic or like the most beautiful graphics they ever. I'm not saying they intentionally make them ugly, right? But I'm saying not every game has to try to look as realistic as possible.
Oh no, I'm tired of the I'd rather play something that has an interesting art style. A good example, and this is not. I wouldn't call it mid-size. It's more of the small area. And I told Emily when I played this recently. Road 96. Yeah, Road 96. It is. I paid $30 for it because it was the physical copy and it was an indie studio. That's just how that goes. And it was only 8 to 10 hours long, right? But it wasn't like visibly stunning. Like, it wasn't the prettiest game in the world, but it had a unique enough art style that it grabbed me in. I don't need this DLSS 5, which is making things take longer to come out. But besides just that,
don't bring that into this.
But like, I don't know. I got more. I don't like using. I used to do it. I used to be like, oh, I bought Persona 5 Royal for $60. No, $50. And I got 100 hours in. That means per hour I spent blah, blah, blah. I don't do that anymore. And the only reason I don't is because when I paid $30 for 96 and I play 8 to 10 hours, I now am measuring off enjoyment. Like, okay, do I feel like I got $30 worth of enjoyment out of this? And for that, it's an example of, yes, I feel like I did, right? I think lowering the cost is helpful, especially getting people in, because now there are too many people who will look at a Spider-Man or a Spider-Man 2. It says it's $70 for Spider-Man 2 and can be done in 25 hours. It's hard. It is a harder pill to swallow, but at the same time, you got to go in like with some kind of expectations on how it was made. But if we get rid of the realistic side of things, like you had said, to make it an easier price point, more of these things would be made. More money could be made because you're not spending as much money on assets to get these things to look good, etc. Let's look at like RE9. RE9, on your first playthrough, how long did RE9 take you?
RE9, my first playthrough was about 12 hours.
12 hours. How much did you spend on RE9?
I think it was $70. I got it as a gift, but I think it was a $70 game. And I put 12 hours into my first run. I did another 4-hour run. I did another 8-hour run, and then another few. So I probably put just under 30 hours into RE9 with multiple playthroughs. But those games are always intended for multiple playthroughs.
Do you think, based on its length, that it was still worth the $70?
So, but also I think Resident Evil is something that you go into knowing it's going to be shorter, but it's also something you go into knowing the quality, right? It's the 9th Resident Evil game. That's not to say every Resident Evil game has been consistent, but between 7, 8, 9, and the remakes,
RE6.
RE6 exists. But I mean, if you look at the last like 6 games, 7, 8, 9, 2 remake, 3 remake, 4 remake.
3-make is a great name. Hold on. 3-make is the right thing to call it. Don't correct yourself. That was excellent. 10 out of 10.
They've been of exceptional quality, right? So I didn't feel like it was a risk to purchase Resident Evil 9 because of the reputation of the series and of the developers. I think that situation could have been different if I didn't go into it knowing it was going to be a 12-hour experience. But I also will say then, though, that creating shorter, less expensive games with less budget, I feel like we've seen so much pressure. You and I were talking about this, I think, last podcast or the podcast before, about developers saying, hey, you have to make this much money off the game, or we're going to get rid of the studio, or we're going to do this, or we're going to fire people because this game costs so much time and so much money to make, right? And if you lower down to these shorter games with these less graphics intensive aesthetics, right, you know, developers may not feel such a pressure to make so much money off of it. I mean, I think they still will, but they'll feel less of a pressure because they're not putting so much money and 10 years of development into these games.
Right.
If you put 10 years of time and money and effort into creating one product, of course, there's going to be this huge, insane pressure for that product to deliver. And for someone like Nintendo, who's pumping out, you know, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, right? They can kind of safely rest knowing that they're probably going to make the money that they want to make from something like Tears of the Kingdom. Dragon Age Veilguard was perhaps not something that could have rested on that.
No.
Despite how long that game was in production for. So I think instead of focusing on making these the magnum opus that takes 15 years and tens of millions of dollars, and then putting all this pressure on the developers and the consumers to then spend $80 for it. If you did, I think we just need to bring the AA back. I think we need to have shorter, less intensive games that aren't 100+ hours to finish. That also takes a lot of the load off of the developers.
I have, and we can save this for later, but I even have like a list of things that I played last year that kind of fit that criteria, right? Of like, and what I'm going to play this year that apparently has this huge cult following. And they get games like every 2 years that I'm going to start this year. But we can jump into that later. But based on what Emily just said, there are other weird exceptions to the rule that you don't want to be like. Because I think actually you mentioned Nintendo, and it made me think about it, right? Nintendo, with the exception of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, we can put those to the side. Those are massive games. There's no doubt about it. If we were to get Mario Odyssey today, that's $70 game. Pokemon Legends ZA, which is where I'm going with this, is a 70-hour game where they did use the minimum, you know, graphical intensity requirements. Nintendo is probably the ones who create the most mid-sized games, but are going to pity pinch you as much as they can.
And that's the problem, is they're still charging these insane amounts for these mid-sized games, right? They are still charging $70, $80 per game because they know people will pay them. So Nintendo, I guess, is going to do what Nintendo's going to do. I just think
we can't stop them.
I mean, I like how much was even Princess Peach's Showtime? Was that $30?
That was $60.
See, that was a 10-hour game. That's my thing. Like, that was a 10-hour game. And that was me doing 100%ing the game and doing everything that the game possibly had to offer and getting the maximum amount of stars in every single level. That was a $10 game, or that was a 10-hour game.
I'm confirming the digital version, because you know that doesn't ever go on sale, is, oh, come on. Oh, yeah, $60. I was right. It was we paid $60.
That's crazy for a 10-hour game. And again, I know we're comparing the amount of hours that you put into a game and the amount of money, and I think that's the problem here.
We gotta also talk production costs, because Nintendo, once again, is going to they're going to penny pinch and still make it the most expensive they can.
Yeah. So I don't know. I had such an amazing time playing the Mass Effect series and going into each game knowing it was going to be this 20 to 30 hour experience. And it still felt so full. I didn't feel like I was wasting time on things that didn't matter. I didn't feel like there was so much blow. Never at any point did I feel like I had so many stupid side quests where I was like, I'm never going to get all this done. I mean, there was a lot of side content. There was a lot of it. and I had a great time doing it, but I felt like everything that I was doing was having an impact because it wasn't, stupid, meaningless content designed to make the game longer and bigger.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think I've spoken my piece essentially for everything.
I think, I just want to keep reliving this Mass Effect experience. I've even talked about replaying it soon. And again, that feels low stakes to go in and replay it. Like Resident Evil, I've replayed so many times. It just feels so much low stakes to do it because I know it's such a short experience and I know I'm going to have such a great time with it. And I'm not committing to another 100. I'm not saying 100 plus hour games don't have their time and place, right? I love big games. I love Breath of the Wild. I love the Assassin's Creed series. I played Persona 5 Royal. Like, they definitely have their time and their place. I just think we need to bring us back to the middle ground.
Hey, talk about the other Mass Effect game that is definitely not a mid-sized game. It's a chunky boy.
It's definitely a 50 to 60 hour game.
I beat it in 70. I think I beat it in 70 hours.
And that one's definitely a bigger game for sure. And I think that does say something though to the shift in time, right? Because the first Mass Effect trilogy started in like 2007. Right? And then Andromeda came out in like 2017-ish. And I think that also speaks to, though, at that time, we had started to get to those bigger open world games, right? Like that was the same year Breath of the Wild came out. And so I think Andromeda's size is reflective of the shift in game development and the way games were already starting to change how they worked. I think that was just a symptom of the bigger illness. I guess, I don't begrudge Andromeda its time. I love Andromeda, but also Andromeda's a single game experience. If you handed me a 30-hour Andromeda and a 30-hour Andromeda 2 and a 30-hour Andromeda 3, I think it'd be different.
It'd be a very different experience, I think, overall. People would still hate it because it's still not Shepard, but...
Yeah, people are stupid, right? People love Shepard, and I've played the original trilogy now, and I love Shepard, and I love Garrus, and I love all those babies. But I don't know what they would have done with Shepard for a fourth game. I don't know what people wanted.
I mean, okay, spoilers for a game that's over a decade old. He technically is dead, kind of, or omniscient, depending on what you pick. Like,
my Shepard's not, because I did everything in that game. My Shepard breathed life at the end, and Garrus did not put my name on the memorial wall. So.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, once again,
I don't know what you want. We killed the Reapers. The Citadel is gone. Like, there's so much of Earth that's just completely destroyed. Shepard's tired. Let Shepard rest. Let her sleep. She died. And
Mass Effect Shepard gets a nap.
Mass Effect Shepard, man. Like, I love the idea of going to a new galaxy with new aliens to, like, talk about, and in the tie-in to the original series, that like you find out like 3/4 of the way through Andromeda that the only reason the initiative even happened was because they knew the Reapers were coming and they wanted to save the population, or at least portions of the population, and get them out of the Milky Way, which is why they started this whole thing to go to Andromeda in the first place. Really interesting, and I think people pooed it too hard, and we never got a sequel. And I just recently replayed Andromeda, and I got to the point again where they're like, "Oh, the Corian arc made it." And the Elcor arc. And I was like, the Elcors were supposed to be here? I was denied the Elcors in Andromeda because y'all couldn't support this game enough? Y'all pooed it too hard? Y'all too good for wonky graphics now?
Ferg, thank you for, pushing my narrative of Mass Effect Big Nap. Appreciate that. I'm going to quickly...
The Mass Effect should be a massive nap.
Massive Nap 1, Shepard rests. It's sleeping simulator.
Oh, sleep, you sweet prince.
I'm gonna quickly go through a list of mid-sized games though that are not Mass Effect, because we have a whole Mass Effect episode planned. I think next, according to the doc.
I can talk a lot about Mass Effect. Blake and I have both played it, and neither one of us technically reviewed it. And I don't know who's really asking for a review for a series that came out 2007 to 2012, but I want to talk about it. I'm obsessed with it.
I technically played all 4 of them for the first time last year, so...
I want to talk about them.
Yeah, we will. But okay, quickly.
I learned that Blake apparently thinks Garrus is just okay.
He's not bad. He's no Tally. He's no Liara.
What about Liara? What about Rex?
You know what happened to my Rex. You know what happened, and I need to restart.
You're a freaking loser. That's what
I
happened
need to replay. I need to replay and get him back.
9 hours in Mass Effect 1. Some of us spent 25 hours in Mass Effect 1 and didn't kill Rex.
Yeah, because
Unbelievable.
it didn't. I didn't. I'm gonna go back and fix everything, and also not play as Vanilla Shepard like I did the first time. That was a mistake.
Yeah, you gotta go back to that series. I actually thought I was deranged when I was like, because I was like, Blake did this in 9 hours. And when I hit 12 hours, I was like, I guess I'm just a little slow. And then when I hit like 20 hours, I was like, is this concerning? And then I hit 25 hours, and I was like, Blake did something wrong.
I did. No, I did. I didn't know what I was doing. That was also a different time, and I was in a bad place.
But you gotta replay it, and you gotta redo the Citadel DLC with Rex. Rex is my favorite character. I think he's so great. I'm curious, though. I'm not gonna make us keep talking about Mass Effect. This is my last question, I promise. Did you do the whole cure the genophage thing in Mass Effect 3?
Yes.
Who pitches it? Who it comes to and is like, we have to cure the genophage?
I can't remember. It's I think it's Grunt. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay, interesting.
I did that whole side quest.
I just can't imagine. No, it's like a main quest. I just can't imagine it without Rex. That's very curious. Anyway, we can stop talking about Mass Effect now.
Okay. Here's a quick list of games that I played last year that are mid-sized that I think are worth it and a good time. If you want that Persona feeling, but not the length of a Persona game, and you mainly want to focus on combat, Shin Megami Tensei 5. Good time. It was great. Fit the bill. It was only one playthrough, and you can do multiple, was about 20 hours. Good length. Perfect. And I only paid $20 for that game. So, cool. Final Fantasy 16. I don't like praising Square Enix that much lately because they've been pissing me off. But Final Fantasy 16, it's a 40-hour, and Final Fantasy's been very good about this. They're not stupid long. 45 hours for a Final Fantasy game is, I didn't even take me that long. I think it took me 38 to 40 hours to do. And I did a lot in it. Highly recommend. Great game to play. Blue Reflection Second Light, and this is a company whose other games are going to start playing this year. The company that made Pokopia made this game. Even though the first game was Poopy Butthole, the second game was a great JRPG, and I'm going to play the Atelier series this year, and I'm excited for it. We already talked about Mass Effect. This one's going to make Emily incredibly happy. Assassin's Creed Syndicate. It was short as hell, and I loved it. It was the last game I finished last year. It was great
game. While we're talking about Assassin's Creed games, Assassin's Creed Mirage is also a pretty short experience as well.
I can also just go back and play Assassin's Creed 2, Black Flag, Brotherhood, Revelations. Not 3.
Midsized Games.
Yeah, not Revelations. Sorry, yes, Revelations, not 3. I won't play 3 again. I can't play 3 again. Not good. I think I am going to be playing the Uncharted series like you are this year at some point. I need to play all those.
As well, yep.
Those are all mid-size. Expedition 33 we already mentioned. That is mid-size, and that was a fun time this year. Road 96 is not mid-size. I would consider it small, but I just want to push people to play it because it's such a good damn game. I'm going to play through all 4 Dragon Ages this year. All 4 of them.
Those are not mid-sized.
I'm reading them. The first game is about 40 hours. Second game is 30 hours. Inquisition's about 45. And Veilguard's about 30.
60-hour experience, I would say.
The internet lied to me.
Everything that game had to offer, and I spent about 60 hours in it. And I know Tia has spent much longer in that game. And Veilguard is definitely like a 60 to 70-hour experience. So the first 2 might be shorter, but I would say Inquisition and Veilguard, you should expect around 60 hours.
The internet lied to me. I am playing.
I play them a lot faster, but if you are doing a lot of side stuff,
I'm not making a Rex mistake again.
Yeah, Berg, is that Sir with the ellipses in reference to him killing Rex?
Yeah, it's in reference to Rex. I'm gonna try it again.
It is a huge mistake. Rex is my favorite character in that series.
This year I will be playing Pragmata when it comes out, and I know that's gonna be a mid-sized game. Like, we both know that's going to be a mid-sized game because it's Capcom.
Let me look at my backlog and see
Uh,
if I have any mid-sized on this
and
list.
same with 007 First Light should be mid-sized when it comes out. I don't expect Beast of Reincarnation to be that big, but then again, I don't know. Starfield is going to be a big boy.
I think 007 is my only mid-sized game on here right now.
I'll convince you to play Pragmata. I actually...
I might play it at some point. The price might be the only thing that deters me. I might wait for a sale.
I might let you borrow when I'm done.
That'll be another mid-sized game.
I text my friend Julia about Pragmata, and she's like, Blake, I don't care if this becomes your favorite game of all time. I don't care how good this game is. The little girl creeps me out, and because of that, I won't play it. And I'm like,
the little girl, I'm truly convinced, like, they went to Resident Evil, and they were like, hey, can we have Rose's assets, please? Can we have that sick hair that you made for Rose? We'd love to use that over here. You'd save us so much time.
I know me and Ferg are going to be talking about Pragmata a lot when it comes. We're both stoked for this. It's only a few weeks away. The 17th is the release date.
It looks good. It's got that Capcom aesthetic.
Which I'm
Kat,
stoked for.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
What is it with Capcom and its blonde girls?
Oh, I don't know if you know this, but Japan is a sexist and sometimes racist, but probably not in this case, country. End of sentence.
I just like the Resident Evil series has so many little blonde girls. You get Sherry in 2, who's a little blonde girl. Then you get Ashley in 4, who's not a little girl, but she's also your female companion who's blonde. And then you get Rose, who's also a little blonde girl. And now in 9, you get Emily, who's also a little blonde girl. And now for us,
wait,
yet another little blonde girl.
9, her name's not Emily. You're Emily.
It is. No, her name's Emily.
Oh, the child is named Emily. I thought you were
Grace
about...
is also a blonde girl, so you can add her to the list too if you'd like. You can add Grace, but the little girl that you say later, I'm actually not going to mention what happens later because that would be spoilers, and that's a recent game, so I am going to worry about spoilers. Her name is Emily. When you say you've been going through the original Resident Evil trilogy and eventually Code Veronica, do you mean the OGs or the remakes? I have not played the original trilogy. I've only played the remakes of 1, 2, and 3. And I am waiting for the remake of Code Veronica before I touch that because I've seen my best friend play the OG and I know I would not be good at it. I did play the original 4 though. That's the only original I played.
I am considering putting on my big boy pants and playing through the entire mainline series to revitalize my channel at some point.
Resident Evil?
Yeah.
I don't think you'd like it, buddy.
I don't think I would either, so I don't know. I haven't decided if I'm doing it yet or not. I probably won't.
I'll play it for you. You can watch somebody play it.
That's different. That's not the same.
Yeah, you won't be scared.
I like the handhold. Okay, the one I think I can get through without being scared is Resident Evil 1. I think that's the only one I can get through without getting scared.
Actually, it was one of the ones that stressed me out the most because you can't move and shoot at the same time.
That's different though.
Mean that you can't see all around you when zombies are sneaking up.
Knowing me, I probably won't do it. Before we go, I don't think you were here when I mentioned the bad news about Pragmata on this channel.
Oh, you told me the bad news about Pragmata.
What do you think it is?
Didn't we talk about last week?
I told you good news last week that it's coming out a week early.
It's moved up. Okay, maybe that's what I'm confusing it with. What's the bad news?
The bad news. I think I talked about this with Juice, and this is why I hate Reddit and the internet. There was already a subreddit that had to be shut down. It was like Pragmata _, and I forget, you may have told me this. I can't remember. It was called Pragmata _. They sexualized the child.
Hold me, Yoshi. How
yeah.
would you do this?
I hate the internet. The internet was a mistake. Oh, you heard it from me. Okay, I don't remember who told me this. But yeah.
Disgusting. WoW Tintin original. I have mad respect for that. I will confess, I don't think I have the skill nor the patience to play the originals. I highly respect that you do. I am a sucker. I know I just talked a lot about graphics. I am a sucker for pretty things.
I was about to say, yeah, because
being able to move and shoot at the same time, man. I played the original Resident Evil 4. That was so painful, not being able to move and shoot. Like, you have to stop and shoot the gun, and then if you want to move the way you're pointing the gun, you have to stop shooting. You can't back up and shoot at the same time. devastating. I'm not good at shooters. I think it's something you should know about me. I'm not good at shooters, so they're really hard for me, and I need the modern technology that allows me to shoot at the same time. Also, I don't like preset angled. Angles. We're not friends.
This was like a few years ago, and I don't think Allison realized. I was like replaying Fallout again for something, and it's just because it's a old comfort of mine, right? And Allison came in and she'd never seen me play it, and she's like, "Huh, this game kind of looks bad for a modern title." I'm like, "This game came out in like 2009."
This is not a modern title.
No. I'm like, oh,
a modern girl.
like, ma'am.
It's like a nostalgia feel, though. I felt that when I was playing Mass Effect, where I was like, oh, I didn't even mind that this looks bad because it just feels nostalgic for the era.
I think they did a good enough job in the trilogy remasters. It looks fine. It didn't look like poopy.
No, it looks good. Tintin, thank you for the link emo. It's making me think about how badly I want another Zelda game.
Hey, speaking of games that are old and don't look like that are perfect, Wind Waker. Thank you.
Nintendo, please.
At this point, and as the two, and I don't want to call us haters because no, we are. As the two 3D Zelda, specifically Twilight Princess, we're the biggest Twilight Princess haters on the internet because everyone adores that game, huh?
I said probably.
Yeah. I'll even take that at this point, to be fair.
I don't even know if I can call myself a hater because I haven't played that game since 2012 during finals in high school when I went to my friend's house after every half day we had at school. And I sat in my pajamas because it was a half day of school and I played Twilight Princess with her. She said, this is my favorite Zelda game. I haven't played it since then. I'm willing to replay it. I'm willing to change my opinion about it. But you got to give me a chance.
I played it in 2021 on this website called twitch.tv, or it was late 2020, early 2021. It's okay. I don't understand. No, I know why people glaze it is because it's dark and gritty and they think everything that's dark and gritty automatically makes it cool. I like dark and gritty things. That wasn't it, but I'm sure I can try it again and I'll love it because it still wasn't bad.
2012 Emily had an unfair prejudice against werewolves. She was in the middle of a Twilight love triangle. She was tired. She couldn't handle it anymore. She didn't want to see him anymore. I'm not that girl. I've let Jacob go. I don't like that man. I've moved on. I've healed. I've been in therapy. I can handle the werewolf now, Nintendo. Please let me.
I need clarification. Are you mad at Jacob the werewolf or at Taylor Lautner?
Oh, I have no hatred against Taylor Lautner.
Okay.
I don't have any reason to dislike that man. He's just a man.
He's just a man.
He's just a man. It's not his fault he played one of the most insufferable characters.
I really wish that him and Taylor Swift would have made it work out because I would have loved Mr. and Mrs. Taylor Lautner.
Stop. Can I tell you something?
Yes.
Taylor Lautner is married to a woman named Taylor.
Oh, that's even better. That's great. Mr. and Mrs. Taylor Lautner.
And this woman was Team Jacob as a child. Or maybe she was Team Edward as a child, and they made a joke about that.
How old is this woman, and how old is he?
He was only 16 in the movies when he filmed Twilight. So if she was 16 or in her teens at the time, I don't think they're that far apart in age.
This man is my age? This man is only
Taylor Lautner's not old. He was an actual teenager when he played a teenager. So was Kristen Stewart. Kristen Stewart actually, if I remember correctly, had a lot of issues with the amount of time that she was filming Twilight for because she was still underage and she had to abide by child labor laws.
Taylor Lautner's only 10 years older than I am. 10 years. 10 months older than I am.
He's not that old, bud.
God.
But
he's also from your hometown, but I digress.
Nothing though. Yeah, he's from nearby. That was a big thing for us back in the day when we'd go to the premieres. Be like, do you think Taylor Lautner will show up? He never did. I think he actually did show up to a couple, but not we were at.
We did the thing when the Hunger Games were being filmed in Baton Rouge because apparently there was a lot of spottings of what's his name? The guy, PETA. What's his name? Josh Hutcherson. Yeah, he make appearance at a little like strip mall area called Perkins Row in my hometown all the time.
That's fun. He's a good dude. Tintin, yeah, you didn't say specifically how much time you gave the Mass Effect trilogy. You just said you gave it an about. I would definitely give it another chance if you enjoy games with companions, or you get to build relationships with companions over a series and build different relationships with them. Choice-based games too, because there's a lot of choices in that series as well.
Then play Persona 5. I'm sorry, I'm done. I just was waiting.
That's a 100-hour game, and it's a JRPG. Those are very different experiences.
I know.
If you don't like shooters, or you like shooters because you're playing Resident Evil, then I think that would be up your alley too. I think the first one's pretty hard to get into. I tried playing the original Mass Effect game a couple years back when I first got the Legendary Edition, and I only got like an hour or two into it before I quit. And I wasn't enjoying it too much. And this time I kind of just sat down and like forced myself through the first couple hours of the first game because my friends wanted me to play it so badly. And once you get through the first bit, it becomes fantastic. I loved the first game, and I immediately went into the second and then immediately into the third. But every game's not for everybody. People like different things. So I would say give it another chance. But if you give it another chance and you're still not enjoying it, don't force it.
Let me cut in here, and as the person who has started and stopped it about 3 or 4 times, and I made the mistake of doing it on Twitch because I'm a dummy. Just get through that first bit of Mass Effect 1, and it will be worth it. Mass Effect 2 is still my favorite of all the 3, and that's the general consensus. I know that's that's the super popular cold take opinion, but Mass Effect 2 makes it all worth it, at least for me. So
I finished 1 and still loved 1.
One's still great.
If you played 4 to 5 hours, maybe it's not a game for you. I only played a couple hours, but I would say give it another go. I would say give it another try. Maybe even start with 2. I've seen people recommend that. My friend actually recommended that to me as well. But just give it another go. But don't force yourself into it. If you give it another try for a couple hours and you're like, this still isn't my thing, then let it go. I just really enjoyed the choice-based system. I enjoyed that your choices carried over between the different game files. I liked the long-term relationship building over several games with like the friendships and the romances as well. So that was kind of my gig. And I really enjoyed that in games like Dragon Age as well. You can like have companions and build relationships with them. So that really hit for me. I didn't really care much about the shooting or the combat or anything. But if you prioritize that, then maybe, yeah. Give it a try, but don't force yourself to like it. Not every game is made for everyone. And don't feel bad about that.
We'll talk more about it probably next time. I don't know. We don't have anything scheduled for next week, technically.
We're going to come up with topics. We have a couple topics. One of them is which we do want to do a full Mass Effect review because, like I said, I played the trilogy for the first time. Blake played all 4 games for the first time, and we have a lot of thoughts on them.
I think we both played the Tamagotchi Life demo and get ready to talk about the Tamagotchi Life demo before the review for Tamagotchi Life.
We'll talk about it, but we're over time, so we're going to wrap up. Thank you all so much for hanging out. Ferg, thank you for the raid. Juice, thank you for the raid. Tintin, thanks for hanging out. We appreciate you guys. Hope you enjoyed talking about the Midsized Games and all the crazy nonsense that Xbox announced. Also, Nintendo, acknowledge Zelda. It is their 40th anniversary. I beg of you.
And before we go, remember kids, and we stated this before, but I'm going to state it again. If you have an AI girlfriend, all the bullying you get, you probably deserve. Okay, goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. Have a wonderful night. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.